Senator Raphael Warnock out of the state of Georgia has released a new campaign ad against Herschel Walker, his opponent for the US Senate, and it only includes Herschel Walker. Here it is.
You know what, Glenn, I'm gonna say something I probably shouldn't. Do you know right now I have something that can bring you into a building that will clean you from COVID as you walk through this dry mix. As you walk through the door, it will kill any COVID on your body. When you leave, it will kill the virus as you leave this here product. They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to hear about that.
I'm Raphael Warnock, and I approve this message.
Enough said. Now that campaign ad alone should clear the pathway to victory for Senator Raphael Warnock. But I want to remind you that Herschel Walker won the Republican primary by double digits. He slaughtered the field. In one poll, he's leading Raphael Warnock by 10 points. Other polls, they have it within the margin of error. This should be a clear runaway. However, Herschel Walker, he's willing to do one thing and one thing well: carry the water of white bigots and advocate for white supremacy if he's elected. That's why the base of Republican voters are going to support him, no matter how idiotic he may seem. I have more. If you remember, he actually was posed the question, talking about Herschel Walker, about the mass shootings or guns in the United States of America. Here's what he said about that. Here's his solution if he becomes a US senator.
Cain killed Abel, and that's the problem that we have. And I said, what we need to do is look into how we can stop those things. He talked about doing a disinformation. What about getting a department that can look at young men, that's looking at women, that's looking at just social media? What about doing that, looking into things like that, and we can stop that way? But yet they want to just continue to talk about taking away your constitutional rights. And I think there's more things we need to look into. This has been happening for years, and the way we stop it by putting money into the mental health field, by putting money into other departments rather than departments that want to take away your rights.
You heard correct. We need to have a department looking into men who look into women, according to Herschel Walker. Young men, excuse me. Herschel Walker has no answers. He has no platform. He barely has a brain. Herschel Walker, once again, carries the water of those who are bigoted inside of the Republican Party. They will keep him employed. They will at least try to. I also need to remind you that he was one of the top fundraisers, not in Georgia, but in the entire country. Do you hear me? He had more people giving him money in order to become a US senator than almost anybody who has or was running during that time. There's actually more. Remember this statement?
I'll tell you something else I heard. Now think about this, because at one time science said man came from apes. Did it not? That's when you go to the science.
Every time I read or hear that, I think to myself, you just didn't read the same Bible I did.
Well, this was interesting though. If that is true, why are there still apes? Think about it.
Damn, that brother dumb. And science has never said human beings came from apes. Darwin didn't say it. Nobody has said that. There's some genetic similarities, but that's across the board. That's a genetic DNA issue, that's scientifically provable. But apes did not produce us. That's not part of the scientific literature. And that's the reason, Herschel, that the guy really didn't agree with you, nor did anyone in the audience. He didn't catch that. Now remember, he's running against this guy.
Mr. President, I rise today to express my joy in voting to confirm Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to the United States Supreme Court. What a great day it is for the United States of America, for our system of government, and the grand march toward the fulfillment of the sacred covenant we have with one another as an American people, e pluribus unum, out of many.
Herschel can't even say something like that. He can't even talk like that. He would have no idea how to read that sentence in front of him. All right. Once again, he slaughtered all of the Republicans in the Republican primary. He's leading Senator Raphael Warnock in multiple polls. And he's trying to lose, it seems. Okay. Now, there's an interesting dynamic here. He's Trump endorsed, yes. But that's not the only reason why Herschel Walker is a competitive challenger and raising all this money. It's also because he's controllable. They can control Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker will go to the US Senate if he gets elected, and he will be 100% controlled by the Trumpites of the party, in particular, Donald Trump himself. He does not challenge narratives. He does not actually exert leadership. He's a simple reflection of the worst the party, the Republican Party, has to offer. Once again, he's leading in many of the polls. All right, AB, thoughts on him?
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that he is controllable. That is their main purpose, right? Republicans need somebody who they can put into office, that they can control, who can be purchased, and they can tell what to do and how they want these moves to be made. Herschel ain't got not a lick of sense, okay? I don't know if all that football concussions and stuff like that then took him out or whatever, but Georgia is in trouble if they don't step up and get it together and go vote. Okay, because this man is gonna have y'all going all the way backwards. Y'all gonna be picking cotton and some more stuff if he get into the Senate, because he cannot possibly understand the Constitution in a way to make rational decisions for a senator. Like, that's just ridiculous. So yeah. God bless Georgia right about now.
Yeah, and he's also been on record for lying about graduating college. He said he was top of the class, said he had a criminal justice degree. None of this stuff true, but it was part of his narrative for decades. He lied to audiences. He was even introduced as a graduate of UGA when he testified at a congressional committee hearing. All of these were lies. He literally lied under oath about graduating college. Now, I thought about this earlier today, AB, and I said, you know what? This cat is so dumb, he may have actually thought he graduated college. I don't know.